Hello, sexy souls, and welcome back to another chat. I'm so happy you're here, and I'm sending you so much love and light as always. My name is Maya Amar, and I'm a trauma, manifestation, and embodiment coach here to help you heal and manifest all your beautiful desires. Thank you for tuning in today and taking the step towards creating your ideal life. Are you emotionally intelligent? Do you know what emotional intelligence is? Let's find out. Emotional intelligence refers to the ability to be able to perceive, control, and evaluate emotions. This is very, very crucial to have in our everyday life, because without emotional intelligence, we can be very reactive, we can be very unempathetic, and we can actually really detriment our relationships in ways that we don't know about. And part of emotional intelligence is being mature and is cultivating healthy relationships with ourselves and, of course, with others. And that's why having emotional intelligence is a key characteristic that you most definitely want to develop. So let's break down what emotional intelligence is even more. First off, it has to do with perceiving emotions. If, let's say, you are in a heated conversation with somebody, or someone you are talking to is feeling sad or mad or unhappy or stressed or whatever it may be, perceiving emotions is very important, and it's the first step you have to take, because you have to understand first and foremost how or what this person is trying to communicate with you. Is it anger? Is it stress? Is it sadness? And they show you this either, of course, through their words or through their body language. So being able to perceive their emotions and coming up with a conclusion based off of how they are trying to portray it to you is the first step in having emotional intelligence. Because if I am trying to show you, for example, that I am angry, but you are just taking it as I am, stressed, which can kind of go hand in hand. But of course, this is why perceiving emotions is very important, not only with others, but with ourselves as well. Because sometimes we can feel mad, but deep down, we're really just sad about something that didn't go our way, and we thought it was going to go one way, so it comes out as anger when deep down it's sadness. So being able to understand the emotion first is very important, because then we can learn to deal with it. So that leads us to understanding the emotion. Very similar to the first step. What am I actually feeling? What is this other person actually feeling? What is the root issue behind this feeling that they are having, and how can we deal with it? And that will take us to our next step. Then, once we have identified what emotion we are dealing with, we have to reason with it and then manage it. So reasoning with the emotion really means is just, what do we have to focus on now? Let's say we are feeling 1,000 different emotions. We don't know exactly what's going on. We're very stressed about one thing, but we're very mad about another. Try to focus on just one issue, one emotion, one topic, and reason with it. This is what we're going to focus on now. So, we can see how we deal with it. And then that will take us to how to manage that emotion. I would say this is the most crucial part of the whole process, because this is where the give and take process happens. This is where we self-regulate ourselves, we regulate our nervous system, and we learn how to deal with that emotion. So again, for example, let's say you're having a very heated conversation with somebody. If you don't know how to manage the emotion and you don't know how to manage the conversation, that conversation is going to go left so fast before you even know it, because we don't have a regulating system in process. And this is where emotional intelligence comes from. This is where good communication comes from, because if you've ever seen anybody very sophisticated and mature speak, you can see in their way that they know how to regulate their emotions. They don't get turned into, that big red monster very quickly. They don't get heated very quickly, and they're not reactive, which is very, very important to know here. So managing your emotions is very, very important, because then the conversation can go smoothly with others or within yourself, and you can cultivate healthier communication skills moving forward. And also you are able to regulate your nervous system much, much better, because again, once we react to something and our nervous system is out of whack and we're heated and we're this and we're that, then everything is going to go south. And so being able to manage all of those things at once and taking it step by step, perceiving what the emotion is, understanding it, reasoning with it, and then managing it will most definitely lead to a successful conversation. We might come to agree to disagree, but that is still better than having a conversation with someone or with ourselves that can end up being very harmful and actually lead to more doubt and insecurities and breaking trust in the future. So how does emotional intelligence help us in our day-to-day life? One is self-awareness. Once you are self-aware of what is going on in your body and what is going on in your surrounding and how you are going to react to that is such a key and powerful move to have in any area of your life. Because once you are able to do that, then you are able to respond rather than react, which also ties in with the next point, is thinking before speaking or taking action, something that we all learned in middle school, in elementary school, and for all of our lives, but that's something that a lot of people don't do. We've all been in a situation where we are in a very uncomfortable conversation and all of a sudden we're just spitting out the most hurtful things that you can imagine. That's not thinking before speaking. That's just saying whatever comes, and that's just reacting. That is not responding. So being able to cultivate emotional intelligence could possibly be taking a step back, perceiving, regulating, reasoning, managing, and then saying, okay, now I've thought about what I want to say about this whole thing with yourself or with another person, and you are able to think before you act or speak. And then, of course, very important moment here is to empathize with others or with yourself. And this is part of emotional intelligence, because sometimes we can be a little too hard on ourselves. We know that, and we talk down to ourselves, and it doesn't cultivate a good relationship with ourselves. But if you are empathetic enough with yourself and saying, I've been through a lot, I've worked too hard, I've done this, I've done that, and you start to develop a more intelligent way of dealing with issues, you are able to handle the situation much better. And of course, we all know how good it feels when somebody's empathizing with us and understands what we are trying to say, or at least tries to understand how we're feeling. And emotional intelligence also helps you do that, is to empathize with the person in front of you. They're really stressed, they're really sad, they're really heartbroken, they're really mad, they're really this, or they're really that. Whatever the situation may be, being able to empathize with somebody will most definitely make the conversation go smoother, because we feel heard and we feel seen by the other person. What can you do to become more emotionally intelligent? First off, learn more about yourself, your emotions, and where you feel them in your body. So, of course, we've been in moments where we felt really mad, and the madness just kind of tends to collect in our heads, and we feel very angry and very charged, and we want to react. Learn to discern between what you're actually feeling and where you are feeling it. If you're sad, we get that chest pain, that heartbreak pain, and if you are able to just realize where you are, what you're feeling, and where you are feeling it in your body, you are able to regulate yourself more before you act, before you speak, which is very important, because again, if you just react and you're not responding, you're reacting, you're not going to have a very good outcome within yourself or within others. One thing to note is that you can't control how you feel about something or what emotion it ignites within you, but you can most definitely control how you react to it and how you respond and what you are going to do about it. Things go wrong in life. It's very normal. It's what happens. And, it can break us, it can break our hearts. It can make us very mad, very stressed, very uncomfortable. And sometimes we can't necessarily control how that feeling comes about or what emotion that ignites within us. But you can most definitely control what you are going to do about it and how you are going to regulate that emotion moving forward. Just like you can't control how another person is feeling, and you most definitely can't even control what they are going to do about it, but you can help regulate them. And if you mirror calmness and understanding, that is something that potentially they are going to give you, because you are controlling yourself, you are regulating yourself. They may be very dysregulated because of what's going on. You can't control how they feel, you can't control what they are going to do. But if you are able to have that control over yourself, they are most likely to mirror that back to you. And just to put things into perspective for you, if you were to react angry for 2 minutes, if you weren't able to control yourself and control your emotions, and you were having an uncomfortable conversation with somebody, and you reacted in an angry manner for 2 minutes, it will take your body 7 hours to recover from that 2-minute outburst. 7 hours of foggy thinking, 7 hours of irritability, 7 hours of high cortisol, the stress hormone, 7 hours of your immune system not functioning properly, 7 hours of being dysregulated for that 2-minute outburst that you had. I want you to think about that the next time you're in a heated conversation with somebody, and just how important it is to regulate our emotions and how to think and regulate ourselves before we speak. All right, my loves, that is all for today. I hope that you were able to learn something beneficial that you can incorporate into your life, and I will see you next time.